And then we move on to our lecture for today. This is about the development of science and technology in medieval Europe, no? Up to the early modern period. Okay, can you see my slides? Okay. So we have been discussing about the history and philosophy of science and also of technology. We have started from the Greeks, and then we moved on towards the early Islamic period, and we have mentioned that at that time, after the Greek and the Roman periods, the Hellenistic period, Europe went into a decline known as the Dark Ages. And primarily it was called dark because of the pervading social and cultural milieu of that time, no? Wherein the dominant philosophy, Christianity, was very restrictive, that it did not allow a development, no, a flowering of knowledge to happen during that time. So all of this was restricted into what the Christian scriptures are saying. So in effect, Europe, there were not much scientific activities happening in Europe, but in the Middle East, upon the appearance of Islam, he found out that Islam had been very accommodating to the development of knowledge, and therefore the 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 blossoming of scientific knowledge and the production of technology that happened during the Hellenistic period continued on into the Islamic realm, where it was safeguarded by a nurturing philosophy during that time. And so we move on, no? We have been also discussing about Indian philosophy. No, if you have been attending an hour ago, because the Indian philosophical system is one of the traditions that have been folded into the early Islamic way of doing things, no? In science and technology. Okay, so at this point, we are moving into the second millennium CE. And when we take a look at Europe during this time, it was the beginning, you know, of events that would later on usher in the Renaissance period and into modern science. So this is one of the towns, no, that are still preserved, no, beginning during the medieval period. No? This is also in Spain. And most of the towns there, no, generally have a castle. The social system during that time was feudal. And there was an empire, yes. Huh? During the Dark Ages, the Holy Roman Empire had taken sway all over vast areas of Europe. But it held into the territories loosely, such that many domains have been ruled by by smaller or lower level leaders like princes, no, and barons that took care of the citizens living in those territories. So this was the pattern during the medieval age. We also have mentioned that Spain was under the Islamic domain during the early medieval era of Europe, di ba? And in contrast to the other European cities, the cities of Muslim Spain had attained quite a golden age during that time. No? So all in all aspects, cultural, artistic, scientific, technological, even religious. No? In religious terms, the generally during that time, and also in Spain, there was freedom to practice your own religion, no, during the Islamic period. Unlike when the Christians took over, no, especially during the time when Ferdinand and Isabella, no, became the leaders of the kingdoms that would eventually form the foundation of modern Spain, no, during their time. Nandun yung Spanish Inquisition. The Inquisition was implemented in many parts of Europe, and it was so oppressive. And if you are not a Catholic during that time, you are forced to convert into Catholicism or leave the kingdom, which was not the case in Muslim Spain. Okay? So, in the early second millennium CE, things were beginning to lighten up. Okay, so they were discovering the writings of the Arabs. No? Eventually, these manuscripts from the Middle East found their way into Europe, and most especially in Spain, because Spain was under Islamic domination during that time. Ba? And when the Christians were able to get back Spain, together with it, no, where the manuscripts that have been written by Islamic scholars. So these were translated into the lingua franca of medieval Europe, which is Latin. Okay, so from Arabic, the translation was into Latin, and it began, no, most of them, no, the greater part began in the Iberian Peninsula in Spain. So this is a picture of the Spanish Pyrenees. No? The Pyrenees is a mountain range that separates Spain and France. And we can see here some hamlets, no? Because it is in this region. No? The reason why I have placed this here, well, took a photograph of it first and then place it here in this slide, is because this is the region wherein the first translation took place from Arabic into Latin. Okay, like the ones that happened in the monastery of Santa Maria de Ripoli in Catalonia in Spain, no? In the 10th century. Okay, so all the while, no, in medieval Europe, the schools were attached to monasteries and cathedrals because it is the clergy who had the monopoly of learning. Okay, so they taught every subject that they deemed appropriate. No? Grammar, logic, rhetoric, math, music, things about the natural world, no? But in comparison to the Islamic realm, the latter was more advanced, no, than medieval Europe. Okay. So this is what a historian is saying, no? In order to put into context what was happening at that time, no? Especially with our European thinkers, no? Which is why they had that motivation to gather knowledge about the natural world. Well, same thing as in the Greeks and the Islamic period, no? That learning about God is learning what He had made and understanding the whys and wherefores of its fabric. Okay. So first, the thinking was more of Platonic, no? More of the philosophies of Plato, or deriving from the philosophies of Plato. And then later on became Aristotelian. With this shift in thought, no? This created an avenue in which to allow the accumulation of more information and the performance of more ways of knowing. Okay, with the transformation from a Platonic mode to an Aristotelian type of thinking. So the bulk of the work of Aristotle was translated from the Arabic also in Toledo. Okay. Toledo is central Spain, no? And the landscape is devoid of tall vegetations. There are not so much trees there, unlike in the Philippines, di ba? And you could see olive farms, no? And this windmill, no? Windmills, no? Because I think you are familiar with the novel of Cervantes, no? Don Quixote. Okay, this was the setting of his novel. No, yung mga windmills na yan. Which according to the novel, the the main character mistook these windmills for monsters, and therefore he's attempting to fight it, no? Okay, so from a Platonic mode of thinking into a Aristotelian mode, no? How did this happen? It was because of two friars, Dominican friars. One is Albertus Magnus, no, who lived in the 13th century, and he is adept in alchemy and astrology. And he has been a supporter of Aristotelian philosophy. Okay, Albertus Magnus. And the other one, ito yung medyo sikat, ano? Alam niyo ito, kilala niyo, is Thomas Aquinas, Saint Thomas Aquinas, who is the reason for the University of Santo Tomas. Okay, so he's also a Dominican friar, and he is well-versed in the Christian scriptures and also a practitioner or a supporter of Aristotle's method of classification. In one of his writings, he tells that it is natural to a human to attain what is intelligible through objects of senses because knowledge comes from the senses. Again, there is that empiricist aspect, no, of learning. Okay. So this did not come easy. No? And for people who would challenge the dominant thinking of the church during that time, no, bad consequences, no, negative consequences awaited them. Persecution or maybe torture, even death. Diba? For those who challenge the church during that time, most of them, no, have resulted in consequences that are not so good. Sabihin nila heresy. Pag sinabing heretic ka, no, you go against the the dominant teachings or the dogma of what is supposed to be learned. No? The dogma of the church, particularly the Catholic Church during this time. No? Kasi nung time na yon, no, the mainstream was Catholicism. And it was the kind of Catholic that was developed in Rome, no, in the medieval, in the first millennium CE. Although there are many other sects, Christian sects during that time. Of course, in the Eastern Roman Empire in Byzantium, we have Orthodox Christianity, which is similar to Roman Catholicism, but a little bit different with regards a few of their philosophy and also their rituals, no? At medyo matagal yung misa nila. We have attended one in Greece, medyo matagal. 3 oras kung minsan. Okay, so what happened was a persistent desire by these two clergymen to convince the church that this kinds of thinking and knowing the world is advantageous. And they succeeded. They succeeded. And because of this, nakita natin na meron pa lang may potential na magkaroon pa ng development yung investigations natin in terms of knowing ourselves and knowing the world, no? Because it also heralded the accommodation, no, that was to happen in the succeeding centuries, especially the ones that would challenge the teachings of the church very strongly. Okay, so we have mentioned about Claudius Ptolemy, no? And we were talking about the Hellenistic period, and we have also mentioned there that he speculated Earth as the center of the universe. So this was in the early millennium CE. But after some analysis, many persons have been doing their own investigations, and suddenly, to their observations and study, some persons like Nicolaus Copernicus suggested that no, we are only revolving around the sun. Maybe the sun is the center of the solar system. Okay, so in here, we have been seeing the components that was to become the practice of science. We have Aristotelian empiricism. His practice of observation, and of course not only Aristotle, no, also the others. Observation, empiricism, and then the use of logic, no, of deductive reasoning, and also the use of expressing these things through mathematics. Okay, so during the 15th century and 16th, at the time when the Spaniards were arriving on Philippine shores, no, unti-unti nang nabuo yung alam natin na science na ginagawa natin ngayon. Again, of course, in science, things are not to remain static, no? Although Aristotelian ways of doing things and thought displaced Platonic philosophy, in turn Aristotelian philosophy would be slowly challenged by other kinds of thinking. Okay? So during this time, no, nung nandyan yung Aristotelian method, nature was seen as designed for purposes. Again, yung teleological way of thinking, no, ng mga Greeks and the medieval philosophers. After that, there were many other philosophers, no, that did their own investigations and ruminations. So like this famous one, René Descartes. No? He was French. And he philosophized about the mind and the body, no? These things that seems to be at the root of how we divide the natural from the human world, di ba? We have been talking about this since the first lecture. The things that are outside our consciousness, ourselves, ito yung natural science, the natural world. So yun yung nasa College of Science. And then the things that would be about ourselves, about our consciousness, ito yung about human behavior, ito yung ilalagay natin sa social sciences, no? College of Social Sciences and Humanities din, no? College of Arts and Communications. Okay, so ganun, no? Yung pagkakaroon natin ng division na yan, no? So there was dualism between mind and body. No? This idea, no? This dualism have been at the root of things. He still acknowledged the existence of God. No? And well, just like the other philosophers before him, no? He was still carrying their tradition. And so little by little, no, from that big discipline known as philosophy, no, philosophy and then metaphysics, no, the things about the environment, but not really scientific considerations of that. No? Slowly, branches of the disciplines of new disciplines began to develop. So for example, physics, no? Things about gravity, about forces, maybe about matter. So they slowly branch out from that metaphysical root. And also the other sciences was to follow, or to follow. Okay, in the United Kingdom, Francis Bacon, no, during the 16th to 17th centuries, said that information should emerge directly from careful, unprejudiced observation of nature, not by deduction from first principles. So he was into induction and studying nature from man's perspective. So little by little, there are other philosophers that have begun to advocate their own kind of thought, no? Like Francis Bacon, especially in the British Isles, where the focus is on empiricism. Again, pag empiricism, di ba, the use of the senses. As compared to epistemological issues between metaphysics and physics, which is predominantly the way in continental Europe. Okay? Pagpapansin ninyo halimbawa yung mga British, no? For example, the theory of evolution, sila Darwin, no? Charles Darwin and his contemporaries. No? The way they did things, examining the environment, going on expeditions. No? This is a British tradition. No? And it is not surprising that naturalism began to take shape in the British Isles because they love to do observations there, no? Even during the Middle Ages. So the likes of Francis Bacon and also other thinkers like Isaac Newton and David Hume. Okay, as opposed to the continental personalities like Descartes, who would usually maybe sit or maybe go to a tavern and then talk about ideas and philosophies, no? And not much about doing some investigation and looking into the environment. Okay, for instance, Isaac Newton. We are familiar with these three laws, no? The law of inertia, the law of force, the law of action and reaction. You can read it here. And anyway, it's I think in your other science courses, no? And also the law of universal gravitation. But again, just like the thinkers in the 15th and 16th century in Europe, no? Nandyan na naman yung practice ng observation and then testing and reasoning. Of course, yung mathematics kasama na rin dyan. So in a way, unti-unti nilang nabubuo kung ano yung dapat na ginagawa ng isang scientist, no? When he or she tries to accumulate information, valid information at that. So he revolutionized the discipline of physics, no? Lahat yan ay napagtagpi-tagpi niya into one, no? The things that earlier philosophers were thinking about gravity, about optics, about force, about movement. Okay, so bumuo siya ng ilang mga explanations in order to have them, no? To express them in a coherent and parsimonious way. And this is a revolution. Okay? another empiricist, no, is David Hume. I think David Hume is more popular in your philosophy classes. No? He was critical of the inductive method, no, the one that is advocated by Francis Bacon, because it assumes that conditions of the present and the future should be the same as those of the past, which could not be guaranteed according to him. Okay? So for example, he pointed out that because I am always seeing white swans, no, it doesn't mean that I will not be seeing a black swan. Okay? Because possibilities can also happen, no? If you look at them closely, or maybe by chance. Okay, so we should not expect, no? And we should be cautious of situations. We should not take them for granted just because they are constant at present doesn't mean that it was also the same situation in the past or it would be in the future. Okay? So that is a good practice for scientists. Halimbawa, if you are a bird watcher, and you have been seeing woodpeckers all the time. For example, this type of woodpecker, no, the Philippine woodpecker, no, pygmy woodpecker. Its characteristics is similar to that of the pygmy woodpecker in Singapore and also in Japan. Okay, but they belong, no? The three are each in its own species, no? Taxon. So if you are not cautious, or you are lazy, no, to investigate, you can just assume na because I see that woodpecker in Singapore, so I will assume that it is the Singaporean species. If I see that woodpecker in a Tokyo park, in Ueno Park, for example, I would assume that it is the Japanese species. Okay. But what if the species from Singapore migrated or have been visiting the Philippines? No? And if you take a look at halimbawa, the woodpecker in a park in halimbawa in Quezon City or in Diliman, no? Iba pala yun nandun, no? Yung Singaporean species pala yun nandun. So that is an example, no? Wherein we should always be on the lookout, no? And it is not good to always assume just because it is always there and it is constant. Okay, so we compare again rationalism and empiricism. Now, rationalism is generally the thought that pervaded continental Europe at that time, and empiricism is the one on the British Isles. No? So with rationalism, we have the a priori approach, using logic and reasoning to produce knowledge. And phenomenon holds in all space and time. No? In effect, it is deduction and innate qualities and thoughts are considered. No? Whereas in empiricism, it is a posteriori. It is using experience to gain information. Phenomenon is seen as situational. And this is a good example of the inductive method. But I am not saying that it is always inductive. We are also using deductive method when doing observation. But when we do observations kasi, no, when we are being empirical, we start from the ground. No? We collect our experiences. No? We collect results from our experiences. And if you want it, halimbawa, to make it more statistical, we collect many of them. No? So that we can deduce. Di ba? Ganun yun. So it is not always, pag sinabing induction, ganun na kaagad, or deduction, gano'n. No? So you have to see things in their own contexts, no? On their own special contexts. Okay, another philosopher is Immanuel Kant, no? Who lived in the 18th to 19th centuries. And he disagreed with empiricists about knowledge coming from experiences. Sabi niya may tinatawag na synthetic a priori knowledge. That is knowledge that really do not have to come from your experience or studying. Halimbawa, it can be thought of as built-in. No? For example, if you have a baby or toddler na lang, no? Toddler na gumagapang halimbawa, and you put a hard object, halimbawa siguro na a big toy in front of him, no? Na ayaw niya, and he wishes to ignore that thing, he will pass by its side, no? Instead of ramming ahead of the toy. So in this case, pwede natin sabihin na yung baby ay may kaalaman, no? Para umiwas dun sa bagay na yun, no? Dun sa laruan na ayaw niya halimbawa. They do not need to be taught, no, na umiwas, pero by themselves they can do it. Okay, so this is an example of the synthetic a priori knowledge being suggested by Kant. Okay, so again, no, we reiterate that science is empirical. No? Our way of observation, no, is the empirical aspect. It comes from experiences, no, from the use of our senses. And that just by using abstract statements, no, it cannot readily validate what the phenomena is, no, or the truth about the phenomena. And then science is also reductionist. It can be completely analyzed in terms of simpler parts. Again, in an experiment, we tend to control all other factors while zooming in on the things that we only need. Okay. Another example of this aspect, no, of reductionism would be analyzing parts, no, of a whole thing. So for example, if you want to analyze an ecosystem, no, or a biome halimbawa, can just pick a small part of it and analyze the relationship of plants and animals in them, no? You do not bother at first with the other parts of the ecosystem. And this is what is happening in our studies and when we do research, no? We always zoom in on the things that we can control, not really on the bigger picture, no? Saka na yun. Saka na yun. Pagka na-establish na natin yung maliliit na bagay na yun na gusto natin tignan, saka natin i-relate dun sa mas malaking litrato. Okay? So things have been happening all along. No? We have mentioned that physics, a revolution in physics have been brought about by Isaac Newton. And other thinkers have also revolutionized the way we look at the material world. For example, how things, how the world is composed. The periodic table of the elements. No? Before, it was only thought that the basic elements, no, 'di ba? Halimbawa, air, and also earth, fire, water, no, space. These are the ones that the indivisible components that make up all of living or all of the world and the universe. And then they also extended this to the human body. Okay? Now come this thinkers of the 18th century, they have slowly, 18th, 19th century, they have slowly thought of that, no, not simple as that, no. We can say that many other indivisible parts, no, can make up the universe. So these parts or elements are called atoms, and they have arranged them in a periodic table. They have thought of models in order to represent them. Like subatomic parts, no, in the center of that entity, no, with other subatomic parts or particles revolving around them, no. And as you add into those subatomic particles, you get different kinds of elements, which in themselves are the basic indivisible components of all the things we see around us. Okay, so these are called atoms. And this is the atomic theory. So suddenly they have found that hindi pala pwedeng no, basta-basta na lang na kumuha ka ng metal, halimbawa yung yero ko or yung alambre, and then I will turn this into gold, no? Transform this into gold so that I will become rich. Hindi pala ganon, no? I will get aluminum foil or my kawa and then transform it into gold so that our central bank could have more gold, no? So that I can have more money, no? More than 125 million. Okay, so hindi pala ganon, no? Ngayon nakabuo na sila ng model of atoms and compounds in order to which serve as the basis, no? If they want to transform one substance into another. In the biological sciences, ganun din, no? Marami din nangyayari, no? For example, no, now we know that matter is composed of atoms and all of these things. They are governed by physical elements. And now this matter that is living, now we have to explain this. Okay? Hindi pa nila ma-explain, no, kung paano nabubuhay, pero they have sort of succeeded in explaining that all living things are related to one another, to each other. You cannot form life out of non-life or living matter out of non-living matter. It has to come from a previous living matter, no? Or living organism. So that is the theory of biogenesis. And little by little, they have found out that the way by which we appear, no? By which plants, animals, people, microorganisms appear is because of their codes. So some wise clergymen have investigated on that, no? Gregor Mendel, for example. And he had been tinkering about peace, diba? The piece that you do not like to eat when you are served steak with vegetables, or maybe corn, carrots, and peas, no? Kung minsan tinatanggal mo yung peas. So he experimented on this, no? And he made some observations that there is a pattern. There is a pattern, no? From the parent to the offspring, and then the apo of the original parent, no? May pattern niya, no, kung paano yung nagiging itsura niya. But of course, the mechanism by which this happens, hindi pa niya alam, no? It would come later on, no? And it would be explained in molecular terms during the 20th century na, with the coming of the molecular genetic model. Okay, so these things are examples of scientific revolutions. I think this is the last slide. Okay, do you have any questions? Any questions? So basically what we have been discussing is the parts, no? The parts or the activities that would contribute to the thing we are calling science. Diba? Yung observation, the empirical aspect of it, how we reason, ano pa? Employing mathematics and models in order to explain phenomenon. Okay? And also making up models so that we can use it. Diba ngayon ang dali-dali ng gumawa halimbawa ng mga bagong chemical compounds. If you want to synthesize a pharmaceutical product, halimbawa a drug or a flavor component of a food or a chichirya, you can just take a look at the molecular models and then maybe think of how to tweak it, no? To modify it in some way that it could produce the properties that is expected. Okay? So not just using the grand statements, no? Abstract statements that the Greeks of Athens have been employing in order to support an argument. Nowadays we are more on investigating things into its minute details. No? The same way how things have started in Alexandria. No? When thinkers, no, or philosophers there have been trying to do their own kind of observation and testing. Okay. It has a long history. Okay, so any questions? 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 Okay, so again, I have placed the listings of groups in the VLE. So please check if I made it correctly. If not, you can send a message in the email, telling what you want to happen, what you want to if I place you in a group that you do not like, you just tell me. Okay? May tanong pa ba? Tanong. Okay, if none, we will see each other again on wala, no? Yung thumbs down, wala. Ganun ba yun? Wala o hindi naintindihan or need clarification? Okay? Ay, ibig sabihin, wala pa, no? Wala pa kayong gustong itanong? Okay. So if you have no more concerns, I will see you again on Tuesday and I will post the links, no, to the discussion that we will be having next week. Okay, so by next week we will be moving into module 2 already, no? Yes, module 2 na. Okay, so see you again next week and thank you for attending this session. Hope to see you then. You may leave the session now.